Not even gonna lie, I was not ready for that music to finish already. Alrighty, y'all, welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Seems like we just had a unwarned tornado south of Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what I was looking at there in the background. But glad to have you guys here today for another live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. We got a whole heck of a lot of new information to talk about and go over. But first, I do want to go over the more pressing knitting matter here. Hopefully everything is good. I'm not scooted up far enough here. I do want to go over to that unwarned tornado that just happened south of Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go over to that. So here is the storm that just produced an unwarned tornado southwest of Gardner. It looked to be potentially strong south of Holly Springs, depending on how strong that couplet was. I didn't see a ZDR difference there, so it probably wasn't strong for that sole reason. Typically, you're going to see dark gray on ZDR right at that debris signature if a tornado is strong. So you can see, clear as day, we've got a debris signature that just hit south of Holly Springs, and that you can see it actually. There's a couple gray pixels in there, not anything too over the top, but yeah, you got some spectrum with there, and radar gives it a 100% chance of a tornado that occurred. So we probably had, you can see those three radar scans of a decent CC drop picked up by radar there. So most likely a tornado, at least a tornado that was unwarned that struck south of Holly Springs here. We could also go back. Thank you, Caleb, for letting me know that. The terminal radar apparently saw it. Let's go all the way back. Yeah, there it is on the far southern edge. Barely even noticeable actually from the terminal radar, but it is there. Honestly, looks a whole heck of a lot less impressive on the terminal radar, but you can see that new scan actually on the terminal radar here shows an area rotation that is actually returned to this storm. That was an unwarned tornado that just happened, and yeah, we may be getting another unwarned tornado here very, very soon west of our radar site south of Raleigh. Let me go ahead and text Lucky that. This is exactly where I would have chased today, too, because I literally tweeted, I think I said, hello, Lucky, or something on Twitter, because I was actually thinking of chasing out here just to his south. But I didn't do it because of the tropical storm coming up, and we plan to chase that. So just keep in mind, this is probably going to be a storm that is going to be tornadic. It was on the ground, did produce a tornado, and we'll just come back to that every now and then. They did put a severe on that, but it's not tornado warned. So that's very interesting. You can see that last scan. We're going to get a new scan in just a second. Once we get that new velocity scan, we'll switch over to talking about the tropical system. But I want to see that velocity scan. Then, of course, our terminal radar also has that pretty tight couplet there. You can see pretty good tight couplet just to the west of Clayton, North Carolina. That might be producing a tornado here shortly. We're going to wait. I'm going to wait for that scan. Whilst I do, let me go and welcome you all to the stream. Welcome Caleb, Pez, Caden, Sam. Also have Misty, Siege, L. Classic YouTube channel, Someone, Siege. Oh, there's that new velocity. Oh, no, that's a new reflectivity scan. Our velocity data is not coming in. Interesting. Haley, welcome to the stream. Proxy, glad to have you guys all in here yet again for another stream. I promise we won't look at this one for too much longer, but I just wanted to make it aware that we do have a tornado or a potential tornado that could be ongoing here shortly, and a tornado that was unwarned just moments ago. I guess we'll have to stick with the terminal radar in terms of trying to figure out if that is is rotating there. Let's see. Our velocity updated on this end, yeah. Our velocity updated here. It's too close to tell if this is on the ground or not, but it doesn't look that promising in terms of it being on the ground at this exact moment, but it very well could be. I might have a little action near me. This is very close to me. This is ridiculously close to me, west of Ridgeway. Alrighty, let's go over our hurricane, soon to be hurricane, current tropical storm. We now have hurricane warnings that are in effect out here. This goes for Perry, Cross City, as well as Greenville and Madison, Mayo, all under hurricane warnings now. We have tropical storm warnings for Tallahassee, tropical storm warnings for Spring Hill down through Tampa, down through Sarasota, Northport, Cape Coral, Naples, into the Everglades as well. Tropical storm watches out for Lakeland, pointing just west of Orlando, back up towards southern Georgia, into just west of Tallahassee, with storm surge warnings for the potential of now up to 7 feet. That's right, we went from potentially 3 feet to 7 feet in the matter of 24 hours. So we're now looking at the potential of 7-foot storm surge out here, all the way from just west of Spring Hill through Cedar Key, back up towards just southwest of Tallahassee. Evacuation orders that are, I believe, what are they? Oh, my word. Voluntary evacuation orders are in place for most of this area. Let's see. Hold on, I didn't realize this person lived so close to this. I'm gonna quickly tweet to this person. Let's see, where did I say? Over, let's see. Oh my word, that is a not so easy to spell name. There we go. Yeah, I would have never been able to guess that one. Give me just a second. Okay. Back over to the tropical activity right after I check this new scan again. I'm very intrigued by this storm because it's not often we see unwarned tornadoes, if ever, in North Carolina. It's just not really heard of out here. We don't really see tornadoes, period. So, again, there's your all your watches and warnings. Those blinking yellow ones are tropical storm watches. That means conditions could approach tropical storm force wind speeds within the next 36 hours. That light red, the light red is hurricane warnings, meaning hurricane conditions are expected within the next 24 hours. That dark red along the coastal areas from Spring Hill back up south of Tallahassee, storm surge warnings for the potential of up to 7-foot storm surge. And then the dark blue is going going to be your tropical storm warnings that are in place for the potential of tropical storm conditions in the next 24 hours. Here's a current look at now tropical storm Debby out here in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, just pushed off of Cuba. That is why we're now expecting a hurricane out of this, thanks to the fact that it is already a tropical storm. That's pushing up to the west-northwest and is expected to make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane sometime around Monday morning, maybe very late tomorrow night. But definitely more leaning towards early Monday morning for that. Then eventually moving offshore near Brunswick, Georgia, and then probably re-intensifying into potentially a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall just west of Charleston. I always want to say freaking Charlotteston for some reason. For some reason there. Charleston, South Carolina. Currently planned, but it's just going to have to be pure luck. I do plan to go out here towards Greensboro, where I will meet Lucky, and I think he's wanting to stream this himself, so I think he's possibly going to take his own car all the way down here towards Charleston, where we will intercept this tropical storm. But it's going to take a lot of luck, y'all. It's going to take a whole heck of a lot of luck on the timing, because it's got to be just perfect. I have stuff I got to do Wednesday morning. Lucky's going to be busy till Wednesday night, so we can't drive down until, I mean, we're going to be looking at an overnight drive from Greensboro all the way down to Charleston, so I'll be, for members, this will be for members only. I will be doing a test stream tomorrow on new equipment to see how noteworthy and how good it will be, but we'll see. I have 2 different laptops that I will probably test and see which one seems to be better for connection, but yeah, welcome Bella to the stream, Nancy, as well as Weather with Eli, also Indiana, I think I forgot you, welcome to the stream, Beverly, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you guys all in here. Hopefully you guys are doing great out there. If you're in Florida, most of Florida is going to be impacted by this, with the exception of probably extreme southeastern Florida, north of Miami. This is your infrared satellite imagery. I mean, this is ridiculously more healthy than what it was just 24 hours ago. Maybe not even 24 hours ago. This thing is just a whole lot more healthy. Very impressed with the amount of intensification this thing's had over land. Most of it has actually been over land at this moment. And at this point, I wouldn't fully rule out a Category 2 with this, and even rapid intensification to a Cat 3. I think what is it? Ships. I think Ships gives it about a 33-ish, right around there, % chance of rapid intensification, which is a very much higher number than before, and it's very easy to see why. A way healthier tropical storm than any model predicted currently. I do want to go look at Ships really fast, so that way I can, tell you guys the exact percentage. I think it was 33%. No, not that one, not the EPAC. Tropical storm Debby. 33% chance of rapid intensification. Yeah, it really would not surprise me if that actually happens. That would not surprise me whatsoever. I really don't know what this thing's going to do after Florida. I really just don't know what it's going to do after Florida here, because it looks like on some models it stalls out right here and then moves towards Savannah. Other models have it continuing towards Charleston, stalling out here, and then moving into Wilmington. Yeah, the Gulf of Mexico could very easily put this to Cat 3. Literally, like, easily put this to Category 3. So this thing could make landfall as a tropical storm. I mean, it's very possible we don't see this turn into a hurricane. It could make landfall as a Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. There's a lot of different possibilities here in terms of the intensity and the track. It's a lot of uncertainty, and that is thanks to our trough. And look how big that cone is at the end. There's really only one cone that this reminds me of here, and that is going to be probably probably a mixture of Florence, but more importantly, was it Dorian? I think it was Dorian. Dorian. That's what this remind. Oh, also Harvey as well. A few of those storms that stalled out. With the cone of uncertainty, how it's like, okay, a lot of confidence between here, and then right at the end, right when it potentially could stall out, there's just this big blob of a cone out here. I'm almost back in the cone. I'm on the border of that cone. I am almost back inside of that cone of uncertainty. I was very far outside of that this morning, really far out. Let's see here. Yeah. The NHC also notes the potential for rapid intensification as well as the potential of a higher end Category 1 hurricane. And they also note the potential that this thing may not even turn into a tropical storm. So currently their forecast is going to be a conservative one with a low end Cat 1 making landfall. So there's a lot of realms of possibilities with this. I wouldn't be surprised if we look at a tropical storm at landfall. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a hurricane, a Cat 2, Cat 3. There's just so many different possibilities because of the Gulf. And every model run handles that differently. I mean, you have, like, for instance, what was it? The CMC? Yeah, the CMC has this making landfall as a tropical depression, which is kind of ridiculous. The GFS model has this making landfall as a... now up to a Category 2. I believe Caden just said that as well. Yeah, GFS has it to a Cat 2. The European model run has it as a tropical, borderline tropical storm, tropical depression. The Icon model has it making landfall as a tropical storm, maybe even a Cat 1 hurricane. Let's see here. Our hurricane models, like for instance the H-Wharf, H-Wharf has it making landfall as a high-end, most likely a high-end, mid-tier to high-end Cat 2. HMON has it making landfall as a, looks like a category mid to upper echelon Cat 1. HAFSB has it making landfall as a, probably a Cat 1 there. And then HAFSA has it making landfall as probably a Cat 1 as well. So just a whole lot of realm of possibilities. At the moment, I think the most likely scenario is a very high-end tropical storm, Category 1. That's what I'm going to be leaning towards. So make sure you are preparing for a hurricane. 100% prepare for a hurricane if you're inside those hurricane warnings. Really, 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 really important to prepare for a hurricane in those warnings. We also have considerable flash flood warnings out for the entire metro area of Durham and northwestern and central Raleigh. Hello, Paris. Glad to see you in here. It does look like this storm that produced an unwarned tornado is completely falling apart. So that's good news. Like I said, we most likely had an unwarned tornado. Now, it's impossible. It is impossible to say we did. But there's a very high likelihood that we saw an unwarned tornado occur with this storm, whatchamacallit, south of Holly Springs earlier. Check H-Wharf in the track. That's what I just looked at. I didn't pay much attention to the track, though. I really just looked at the millibar and wind speeds it had. So you said the H-Wharf? Looks pretty good to me. That might be a tad bit west, but that's like... Yeah, H-Wharf has it making landfall like right here. NHC forecasts right here. So, not that bad. That's definitely a very, very real possibility. Oh. Huh. I'm just going to not narrate this and let you guys see what the H-Wharf does. While I take a quick drink of water. Oh, wait, nope, let's replay that. Right back in the Gulf. Look at that. It's very, like... Ugh, I hate that. Maybe it would be better on... Let's see... H-Wharf... here. Yeah, this should be better, because it, like, bounces around on tropical tidbits. Landfall, stalls out over Georgia, right back in the Gulf. Talk about the GFS model, as if it was a hurricane model over here. This thing thinks it's the GFS. Goes right into Florida as forecasted, and then just nope. I'm going back to the Gulf. Like what? I don't know what in the world it's doing here. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can't fully rule that out. I think that's near impossible. But I guess there's a one in like a billion chance that it actually happens. I mean, you can't fully rule it out. Yeah, I mean, look at what? Look at this. Landfall turns around and literally intensifies to Cat 3 and Cat 4 for Louisiana. What in the world? That is crazy. It goes just like this and then makes landfall as a Cat 3, Cat 4 in Louisiana. That is absurd. Wow. And you can see the black line, that's your most likely scenario, your kind of average between your ensembles. That's what the NHC is really forecasting. That's very far west, though. I really don't want to go to Georgia for this. If this makes landfall in Georgia, I'm probably not going to chase it. I could deal with Charleston, honestly. I guess I could go there, or no, I think it's called Charleston, right? I can't remember it. Yeah, Charleston. I could, that's like as far south southwest as I'm willing to go, but I'm not going to go down to Georgia for a tropical storm. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what that is. That's a complete outlier, y'all. That's what we call a big old outlier there. You just really want to cross that out and pretend you never saw it because it's probably not going to happen. Look at this though. Wait, look at this. This one does it too. This does it too. This has two of them. One of them makes landfall, but then it stays over Mississippi and Alabama. And then the other one actually has it hitting Texas. I don't know with that, y'all. That's not gonna happen. There's no need to worry about that. There is no need to worry about that whatsoever. That's probably just a finicky model run. You know how we throw out GFS model runs that are more than 200 hours out? Yeah, that's what we could do to that one. Really just toss the H-Warf in the trash can right here. Because I don't really see a way how that one's gonna happen. Let me go over here. Whoops. So yeah, if you guys are just now tuning in, if you can, make sure you hit that like button and share the stream. It's very important that we reach as many people as we can today with the word of this tropical storm, soon to be hurricane. So that way everybody knows that it's heading their way. There's millions of people inside the path of this, or the expected path of this soon to be hurricane, current tropical storm. And yeah, I mean, there's realms. There is just so many possibilities here. There's always different scenarios with hurricanes. There is always different scenarios with every single hurricane and tropical storm. You're always going to have these certain tracks, and one's more likely than another. But in this case, there's just ridiculously so many possibilities. It is crazy. It is ridiculous. That's a lot of thunder near me. Hey, yo, what? That's rotating right there. This is actually what me and my dad called Tornado Alley in North Carolina. Because anytime we go to this area, we end up seeing something absolutely awesome. That and now South Boston. There's two tornado magnets I'm starting to notice. North Carolina, it's definitely here. And then for Virginia, South Boston has become a magnet all of a sudden. So yeah, that's in TRG Alley right there. What time is it? 6:14. It's chaseable. It is chaseable. But I'm not going to, because if I do manage to go down towards freaking Georgia for this tropical storm, I want to save some gas for it. But yeah, Again, this is all your watches and warnings. If you're in the yellow, that is tropical storm watches. That means in the next 36 hours, you are anticipated to see tropical storm force wind speeds. If you're in the dark blue, this extends all the way down to Key West now, by the way. You are expected within the next 24 hours to see tropical storm force wind speeds. If you're in the light red, which is one county east of Tallahassee, you are in a hurricane warning, which means hurricane conditions are expected in the next 24 hours. And if you're under that dark red, which goes from Spring Hill to just 2 counties south of Tallahassee, that is a storm surge warning where up to 7-foot storm surge is expected generally in the next 24 hours. Yeah, I'm mine is RNK, National Weather Service, Blacksburg. Which they just put something out. They just put a severe out more north, just east, southeast of Lynchburg. These are starting to rotate like, wow. This one in Danville has a very small couplet. This one in south of Lynchburg has a small couplet. This one in Eden has a decent couplet. These two back here, that's on the leading edge, or I should say the flanking of this of these two storms, so that's not rotation. Go over towards Raleigh. Ooh. Yeah, this one's rotating southeast of Raleigh too. I mean, they're just all trying to rotate out here. This is just rain. So there's a few of them that are still pretty good. If this happened earlier in the day, I would 100% be chasing and not here. I would definitely be out there chasing right now. All right, let's go further south again. North of Danville. I've chased out there. That's in Chatham. If you're talking like northwest of Danville. I want to quickly go check this. I've got some things I got to do tonight for our live stream for members only tomorrow. I would do it for everybody, but I kind of don't want to notify everyone for a test stream. So that's not really something I'm planning on doing, is a stream for everyone tomorrow. It would just be a quick member stream to test out which one's going to be better for connection. Alrighty, let's go over to Key West radar site. So this is a tropical storm right now. A lot of convection. A whole lot of convection. You could see, wow, it's already reaching Florida. The first band is already reaching Florida. So there's your first band. You've got another band down here. You have your more inner bands here, back down here. That's more of like your quote eye wall. If this was a hurricane, the eye wall would be right in here, or more probably like directly right here. Your eye wall would be there. So this is like your eye wall band. It's not even going to be nearly as intense as a eye wall of a hurricane, but that's just the convection closest to the low pressure, the center of this tropical storm. Then you got a lot of convection south of it. Just a lot of convection everywhere. A lot of convection everywhere for this tropical storm. Definitely one of the better looking tropical storms. Then again, I mean, tropical storms have just started to look more impressive. This looks like a pretty good tropical storm, though. I was going to say it's one of the more impressive tropical storms I've seen, but then I'd be lying because I've seen some way better organized tropical storms. Just keep an eye on some of these bands out there. If you guys do live in the southern tip of Florida, there's a risk of a couple tornadoes out of these first 2 to 3 bands here. So we'll be keeping a very, very close eye on that. What, you think something's on the ground out here? Just south of Wendell, North Carolina. Oh, it's going to be the one that I was looking at just a second ago, huh? This one? I don't see a debris signature. It did just update, though. Hold on, let me get my analysis radar on that. Yeah. Yeah. That, we very well could have had another unwarned tornado. A spectrum with... Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. We very well may have had a second unwarned tornado out here. It's definitely not the strongest couplet by far. That is fairly weak, but that is, that's at least a CC drop, a debris signature is what I was going to say. A debris signature. I'm very skeptical on, no, I mean, look at that. You can see it appears and then it weakens. Ooh. Now that's clear air. That is clear air. But the last two scans, this one here, you can see it's right on the edge of it. The next one, still on the edge of it, right here. And then the newest one, that is clear air for sure. Yeah, that is definitely clear air. Radar, look at that. Radar has another one here. Let's look at this one. Radar thinks this might have been something, too. I disagree with that. That's not even close to as organized. So it looks like we might have had another unwarned tornado. I'm not as confident with the this one as I am the last one. This was a very clear unwarned tornado. That's why I tweeted about it on Twitter. This one is a little bit more iffy. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but there's at least a signature there. There's a signature there. Where do you want me to look? Weather photos? What is that? White spot? That is going to be tan, actually, and it's corruption. That's going to be corruption. That's kind of a brownish, tannish color. It's, at least from what I've seen there, that's corruption. It looks like a velocity corruption scan. So just a heads up to those out in the, out here towards, like, Elk City, going towards Rocky Mount, North Carolina. This line has a history of producing tornadoes, and it's more specifically unwarned tornadoes, and it is heading up your way. You have these little circulations that are embedded in really the middle portion of the line, which is very unique. Yeah, that's the middle portion of the line right at the outflow boundary, so that's a decently unique spot for tornadoes to occur. Now, I can't say that there was tornadoes with this storm, but most likely we had at least one debris signature with this, and we could see more in the future. We do have a considerable severe, so there is a significant severe in effect for just west of Philadelphia. Severe warning for 70-mile-an-hour winds. We also have another one. Where's the other one? I know we have another one. Where's that? Oh. Well, that's another significant severe for 38 minutes in Virginia, Lancaster, Virginia. All right, let's go back down to our current tropical storm. Again, all these are going to be potential water spouts. We're going to have the potential for tornadoes as those water spouts move onshore. We're going to go ahead and pull an analysis radar down there really, really quick. Actually, I know where Pete lives. I'll tell you really quick if he's under a severe. I don't know exactly where he lives, but I know his location generally. He is not under a severe. I believe he's extremely close to one, though. He is very, very close to a severe. Let me go look at this one up here. Yeah, that's probably corruption there. He's very close to, if not inside a severe storm, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see all these little areas of rotation along this these confluence bands of this low pressure system, this tropical storm, I should say. And we will have the risk for these bands to potentially produce a few tornadoes tonight. I don't see anything notable. I don't see anything worth covering in terms of that tornado threat. But, you know, we could have a weak, brief spin-up tornado or two very easily out here in southern Florida. This is your risk area today. We'll wait for it to pop up. There you go. So they have a, you know, we'll show you guys it on here because this is better. Tornado risk today. We do have a 2% tornado risk in this green region, so that's from just to the west of Miami, back towards Tampa, down towards Key West. So if you're in this area, you're under that 2% chance for a tornado every 25 miles of a given point. So make sure you are hyper weather aware for that. We are not expecting a tornado watch tonight. We also have a 2% backup here in Minnesota. That is for the potential of a brief spin up tornado or two as well. We also have the risk for some damaging winds up to 75 and some very large hail, potentially up to 2.5, maybe even pushing 3-inch in diameter out here, just to the northwest of the Twin Cities in Minnesota into northeastern South Dakota, southeastern North Dakota. Now that's confusing. Storms are expected to absolutely explode tonight towards actually the late evening hours. This is saying 7 o'clock. Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but that's like 35 minutes away here, model run, and there's like... Apparently these are supposed to be the storms that explode into massive hailers today. Maybe even a brief spin-up tornado, so we'll watch that too. But the main event today was definitely and is definitely on the East Coast. But Minnesota could definitely, be some very large hail. There's a lot of weather. We have a few severe storms in Louisiana, Oklahoma. Your slight risk up here, and then your big slight risk, your big watch out here in the eastern side of the U.S. A lot of people under that watch. I imagine there's probably 50-some million people under those watches in the East Coast. I don't know by any means. I don't know how many people are under that, but I imagine it's somewhere around the realms of 50 million. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, so we'll just continue to keep an eye on this stuff here for the potential of spin-up tornadoes today. But the main story by far is definitely your tropical storm and soon to be a Category 1 hurricane as it moves over the panhandle of Florida very early Monday morning. And then, like I said, there's this beyond right here. Beyond, like, right here. I'm talking about, like, right at landfall. Right when this thing makes landfall, that's when we should have a lot more certainty. But until then, there's a lot of uncertainty on where this thing's going to go beyond landfall. This is going to change. This will change. This icon here, here. These are all going to shift around over the next 3 days until we eventually find out exactly where this system's going to track. You can see, like I said, right after landfall, that cone of uncertainty. I mean, gracious day. It's from almost central Florida and Daytona Beach all the way into almost my neck of the woods in Southern Virginia, all the way west past Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to the Fishies out there, very far west of Bermuda. That's just well to the southeast of South Carolina off the coastline there. So massive cone of uncertainty there. And this thing, remember the low pressure, that cone of uncertainty is where the low pressure could track. So right now the expected track is like this, but we could see something more like this. We could see something more like this. We could see something more like this. There's just a realm of different possibilities from so many different model runs. I've even seen a few. I've seen a couple model runs go like this, where this makes landfall in the Panhandle. That's actually the Big Bend area of Florida. Moves into the I don't know what you consider this, the West Central Atlantic, I guess, just south of South Carolina. I've seen some stall it out right here for like a whole entire 24 to 36 hours and then send it right into the Outer Banks. So there's a realm of possibilities here. Regardless of what happens, catastrophic flash flooding is probably going to end up being your biggest concern, opposed to storm surge on the coastline areas. We're expecting the potential of up to 16 inches of rainfall. The forecast is up to 16 inches of rainfall, and they've actually They've actually upped that to up to 20 here, I believe, in that very yellow color along the very coastal areas of South Carolina into eastern Georgia. I believe that is up to 20 inches of rainfall now. So that is absolutely ridiculous. It's around between 15 to 20 inches of rainfall. That is going to be your biggest issue out there in South Carolina. And just in one day, the biggest day looks to be probably day 3 for flooding. So that's the 6th into the 7th. Me and Lucky aren't planning to get there until the very early mornings of the 8th. So on this particular day is when we plan to intercept it. So by then it's already gonna have dumped. What the heck? Ah, that's over my house. I didn't know I was gonna get rain from this. I wonder what in the GFS? What? Okay, that's ridiculous. I don't know what the GFS is doing. It kind of I really hope that doesn't happen because there's no way I'm gonna be impacted if it does that. That's going out towards like Georgia. That's going into like central Georgia for the for where this thing goes after landfall in South Carolina. It looks how did we trend so far back? We trended so far west, man. I mean, we were expecting landfall at first. Our expected landfall was almost in Tampa, and then another potential landfall in Wilmington. And we've trended to near Tallahassee to, at this point, models are pushing for like Savannah, Georgia. I mean, that's far. That's far. That ain't no, that's not a 4-hour drive, which is like what I can handle pretty much at the most. You guys can't see this, right? Okay, because it's going to reveal my location. You know what? I'm going to move it over here just so I could double check that y'all don't see it. All right, I'm going to go from this area to Savannah, Georgia. What was that, 8 hours? What? You know, 5.5 hours doesn't sound that bad. 5.5 hours is not too shabby. I was expecting like 8 hours. 5.5 is not that bad. That's still like doable. I really don't want to go more than 5 hours away, but 5.5 hours, I don't. I think I'd almost keyword almost do that. If it gets forecasted to be like a hurricane for Savannah, that's probably gonna be worth going. I mean, literally in like 2 model runs, this thing went from a Wilmington landfall. No, one model run. One model run. Our models jumped from Wilmington to Charleston, and now they have slowly shifted to Savannah. How much more west are they gonna go? I think I'm starting to see a pattern here. Caden might be right. These things might go so far west to the point where this thing makes landfall and just goes right back into Georgia. Like it's just like, okay, let's go out of or let's go back into Georgia. They're not I Catman, when you use 30 model runs and they're all pointing at the exact same area for landfall between Savannah and like Buford, like that tight of a gap, it's pretty trustworthy. But then you look at your ensembles and you're like, yeah. Your ensembles are all over the place. All over the place, man. And actually, Ships has increased its its potential for rapid intensification in the just south of South Carolina to 25%. That's already really, really interesting. Man, it's moving slower. Yeah. I feel like if anything, that's gonna hurt the tropical storm potential for Georgia and South Carolina. But it's gonna definitely increase potential. I mean, it's gonna increase potential drastically for the potential of a hurricane. If not even, we may be pushing closer to major status potentially. Like pushing high in Cat 2. That's why some of the models have pushed high in Cat 2 now, because this storm's going so much slower, and it formed a lot more south. Keep in mind our forecast just 24 hours ago was a tropical storm parallel to Cape Coral. If we look at the forecast now, so we were expecting it to be a tropical storm right about here. And it was actually expected to be more east as well. So not only is it going slower and it's more west, but it's also now a tropical storm already. So there is a lot more information that screams for this thing to be, I'd say almost at this point, at least a Cat 1. But again, there is a chance, I believe it's going to encounter some wind shear. So there's a chance that it's going to be, it can make landfall as a tropical storm still. I just find that very, very unlikely. Like I said, there's so much variety here. I don't know. I don't know, Catman. I saw somebody, actually, I saw a couple people talking about wind shear that this thing's going to encounter. I never bothered to look myself. I just saw a lot of people saying that this is going to encounter some wind shear. So I just kind of assumed it. There's more than one person talking about it. There's probably some shear out there. Let me go check myself. What shear? Yeah, there's no shear out there. Maybe there will be later, but there's definitely zero. Well, okay, not zero shear, 10 knot, 5 to 10 knot wind shear, which is definitely not enough to stop a storm from forming. Could this show the? Oh my goodness, this is like a dream website right here for tropics. I've got to use this more. This is ridiculously useful. I'm going to be exploring this one tonight. Let me look at mid-level wind shear. Yeah, there's no wind shear out here. How wide is the storm? I can't even tell you that. Let's I mean, geez. Wide. Very wide. Okay, so from Lord have mercy. Are we talking like every consecutive band? Because if so, we're looking at like 800 miles west to east and 600 miles north to south. Now, if we're talking about tropical storm force wind speeds, you're looking at 150 miles east to west and about 200 miles north to south. So it just depends. It's big. It's very big. It is a very big system. Now, the core of it, that's going to be like hurricane force wind speeds, tropical storm force wind speeds. That's probably not going to exceed about 300 miles, but it's definitely a big storm overall. Let's see here. Let's see. This would be Buford. So I guess I'm not going to be able to ride a ferry, huh? Because we were talking about that yesterday in yesterday's live stream. about getting to our target area. It's like, take a ferry. So I guess I won't be able to ride one of those. I haven't been on a ferry since I was like 4. I was like 4 the first time I was on a ferry, and I guess it's gonna be the last time ever. Vincine Beach. If I said that even remotely close, I probably butchered that to death. Oh yeah, you're in a tropical storm warning. I would. The good news is you're in a bit of a better scenario. Now, you're not in the best, but you're in a better scenario. You do have a risk for tornadoes over the next 48 hours. But look at how much more west this system's going to go. So basically, it's going to curve almost around you. You're still going to feel some tropical storm impacts, maybe even the risk for a tornado as well, like I said. And maybe some minor storm surge. I think they said up to 3 feet out here. National Hurricane Center storm surge, peak storm surge forecast. Are you in the Charlotte Harbor? Let's see. Yeah, so that's Cape Coral. So yeah, you're looking at about 2 to 3 foot storm surge out there. So if you're in the coastal areas, you definitely want to be moving more inland if you're on the immediate coastal areas. But you shouldn't feel the utmost worst impacts from this. But you're definitely you're definitely in the area that's going to be impacted. You're the one who gave it to me, Catman. I just haven't explored it much at all. But sure, I'll send it to you. I haven't explored it that much, but I found like a whole nother section to it that I didn't know existed. And I was like, whoa. There's like a whole entire, it's almost like a different website when I clicked on this one thing. Like, it lets you see so much stuff that it is ridiculous. I will be using that for sure. All right, let me close this out. So here's our current look at Tropical Storm Debby. Really, really good look to it. Jeez. 6,000 frames? Okay, I don't think we're doing that many. Let's put that down to 30. I don't think it loaded up 6,000 frames, because that's got to go back at least a couple days. Gracious day. That's crazy. 6,000 frames. I don't think that's possible, y'all. Man. Yeah, this thing's already starting to build a core. I'm honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a no, not intensity wise, but I wouldn't be shocked if we had like an Otis situation here. Not intensity wise, okay? We're not talking about Cat 5, please. Don't come after me. I mean where model runs just aren't handling the intensity correct. Otis last year, no model run had a Cat. I think one model run had a Cat 3, maybe a Cat 4, but no model runs, period, had a Category 5, and it just came out of absolutely nowhere. And I wonder if this might have that same scenario, because nothing shows, maybe apart from like an ensemble model run, nothing shows more than a higher end Category 2 hurricane. And open Gulf waters in August with no wind shear or dry air, a slow moving, well established tropical storm with an already has a pretty solid core. It's just not a recipe for fun. And it's going to be a recipe for probably the potential of rapid intensification. I'm just wondering on, let's see, European ensembles. Like I said, there's a very good chance this could just make landfall as a tropical storm. We're forecasting a hurricane, but yeah, just like literally there's like one ensemble. Here's your European ensembles here. Only 1 or 2 ensembles have this thing becoming a Category 2, maybe even a Category 1 hurricane. And the majority, if not all, other than those 1 to 2, have a depression or tropical storm landfall. So I just find it a little bit weird, very weird here, how we have this good looking of a tropical storm. It looks like something that you'd see for a tropical storm in the Western Pacific about a month from now. And your ensembles are just like nothing. Oh, other than that, other than that one right there, other than that one right there, they're about nothing. Wait, 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 what? What? Oh, that's another tropical system, ain't it? Hold the phone. Am I on the right one? 240 hours. That's another. What? What? What is a European doing over here with the Cat 5 going towards Texas? Yeah, where does that come from? Okay, Cuba. Can I find out the originating point of that? Um Man, I'm blind. North Atlantic. Let's see. Category 5 goes this way. Originating point. Oh. I guess it originates from. Did you see it for just a second? Just for a second? Look at that. Right there. I guess that's where it comes from. I suppose so. That's your other tropical wave that we're watching. We have a couple more tropical waves that we're watching out here. We're in it. We're in the active pattern now. From here on, and there's no end in sight. There's now going to just be a consistent keep an eye on the tropics, and we're just going to have AOI after AOI after AOI. Now, maybe we may have a period of like a few days where I did not mean to do that. A few days where we don't have too much to talk about, but we're getting in a very active pattern, and that shows from the European spitting out a Cat 5 over here for no good reason. That is the first time I've ever seen the European do that this season. Not even the GEFS has that. The GEFS doesn't even have that there. So I don't really know what the European is on there. I don't think I trust that at all. That's not really something I'm gonna count on happening. That's just something that caught me off guard. But there's I almost called this barrel Debby over here. Here's Debby. Oops. I'm gonna go to your European ensembles. I know I'm switching everywhere, y'all. That's why I don't like this site, because just the overall interface is not fun. But yeah, there's your European ensembles for... Let's go back so you guys don't have to see that Cat 5 and think it's for Debby. Yeah, there's a good spread here in terms of intensity. Like, we do have a decent... anywhere from really the whole Big Bend area of Florida is at risk for this thing to make landfall. But there is like 1 or 2 ensembles that have this thing being a Cat 1 plus hurricane, and that's it. I just don't think they have a good handle on it. This storm just looks ridiculously impressive, in my opinion. If you told me this was a hurricane, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if you said, "Oh, this is a hurricane right now." The only thing that doesn't look good is the amount of convection in the exact low pressure. There's not a bunch of convection right here. There's a good amount, but not like an actual, like a bunch of convection in that center low pressure at this moment. But, you know, if you just sent me a DM saying this is a hurricane, I'd be like, oh, okay. I believe you. It looks like one. I just don't see how that's going to be a possibility. Let me look at the GFS. Yeah, like the GFS right now has this... It doesn't show... Okay, so it has it like 1,010-ish millibar right now. I can't tell what those are. Maybe that's 1,008 millibar. This thing's already 1,007, which isn't that impressive, but it's still ahead of what the GFS thinks it is. We could use, for instance, let's go to a hurricane model. How about that? We don't really need to be using global models anymore. Let's use the H-Wharf here. showing a, oh, let's go to the newest frame. Showing a 1002 millibar, which is actually quite stronger. But then look at that. It actually weakens in the next 3 hours. It actually weakens in the next 3 hours here. And then kind of just stays around 1,000 until we get towards very early, or actually really almost towards noon tomorrow. Almost towards noon. Low pressure's further south. You're right. I think the low pressure's like here, right? Is that the low pressure? I think that is. Man, that is just super impressive. Maybe even slightly more south than that. All right, let me clean out some of my tabs here, y'all. Give me just a second. My computer's gonna kill me. It's starting to scream at me. I can't even tell you. You know, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 tabs. 24 tabs. And most of them are the exact same one. Let's see. I'm going to go back over to the whatchamacallit thingamabobber up here. Yeah, this isn't. I mean, look at that. This thing's still rotating. That thing is still rotating after our whole briefing, and even before our briefing, this thing's been rotating. It's still rotating. That is crazy. I don't think it's produced anything, but if you guys are just now tuning in, we're doing a kind of a extended tropical briefing on our soon-to-be hurricane, current tropical storm, Debby. It has a, let's see here. It has a really, really good look at the moment on satellite imagery for those who have not seen it yet. This is your current infrared satellite imagery provided by Cyclonic WX, which is, in my opinion, the most high resolution satellite that I have found. And a really solid look to it. Your low pressure's somewhere here-ish. Somewhere right around this area is your low pressure. And you have a bunch of convecutive bands all around that low pressure center. It is not lacking anywhere. With some tropical systems, and actually a lot of tropical systems, you see, like, even for our super typhoon, probably almost 3 weeks ago at this point, it was very lacklustering on convection. I think on the I can't remember right. Was it the northwest side? I forgot, but it was a little lopsided. This isn't lopsided at the moment. We've got a round, what do they say? Like almost an early buzzsaw stage look to this this tropical storm. So yeah, earlier at 5 o'clock, I was pretty surprised to see they already classified it as a tropical storm. But now that I'm actually looking at it, I'm not too shocked. It has a really, really good look to it, especially compared to 48 hours ago. I'm gonna keep bringing that up because 48 hours ago, this thing looked pathetic, and now it's like, wow. Now it's wow, because that's actually a really impressive, really, really impressive tropical storm. Interesting. How does the AI European model handle this? How does the AI European model run handle this tropical system? European. Let's see. Southeastern United States. Florida. And it shows a, what is that? Like It doesn't want to say the millibar for me, and I don't have wind speeds here, do I? Oh, I do have wind speeds. Never mind. Hold on. Give me just a second while this loads up. Yeah, that is going to be a tropical storm, maybe a Category 1 hurricane, pushing Category 1 hurricane status in the Big Bend area of Florida. Stalling. Oh, that's a doozy. Stalling out barely before landfall. So there's a stalling tropical storm. Actually, a lot stronger. Probably a Category 1 hurricane stalling out just southeast of. I can't remember the town name, the city name, Charleston, South Carolina. That one. So that results in how much rainfall are you going to spit out here? Wow. Is that 20? Jeez. That's 17 inches of rainfall. That's a lot of rain. That is a lot of rainfall. And the 6 hourly rainfall rates, my goodness. That's not too rough, actually. 2 inches every 6 hours. So what? That comes out to about, Lord have mercy, I'm not that good at math. 2 inches every 6 hours. So you're looking at a six of, what is that? Like right around, we'll just go with, we can estimate down to like 0.40 inches per hour, which is not that much. So 0.4 inches per hour. Which is not, that's not too bad. To put it in perspective, we've had storms produce 4 inches of rainfall every hour. So, 0.4 is not all that rough. Now, this is where it's an issue. If you do that, say we'll just round it up, 1/2 inch per hour of rainfall. Now, do that for, oh my goodness, that's a while. All the way from the morning of, not even, the night of, not even that, the morning of Monday, all the way till the night of Thursday. So you're looking at a solid, I mean, gracious day. That is a lot of rain, my word. That's like at least 8 inches of rainfall in the span of 2 days. That's a lot of rain. Because whereas with some of these, with like severe weather, for instance, if you get flash flooding, sometimes it's like 2 inches of rainfall for 3 hours. 2 inches of rainfall per hour for 3 hours. This is going to be like half inches of rainfall, 1/2 inch of rainfall for 3 days straight per hour. Once again. So, yeah, if you guys haven't already, all I ask when you tune into the stream is hit that like button. And if you can, share it with your family, friends, social media. That's what's the most important. And if you want to come back to these live streams, you could subscribe to the channel. But most important thing is hitting that like button and sharing, because it helps us reach more people with the word of whatever we're tracking, which in this case is a current tropical storm. I do want to pull up that, not the infrared satellite imagery this time, but rather the current satellite imagery as the sun is starting to set out here. Let's go to our visible satellite imagery now. We're starting to approach our last few satellite scans here of what is currently Tropical Storm Debby. And I really don't anticipate much intensification overnight. Let's see, they're 10 miles per hour. Yeah, so overnight they have about a 10 mile per hour strength, and maybe a little less than that. So some, just some gradual strengthening definitely is going to be possible. But I don't think we'll see any type of rapid intensification until this gets dead west of Tampa. I think right in this area here is where we could see that rapid intensification phase. So from, we'll just say 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, all the way until it makes landfall sometime early Monday morning. that's when we're going to look at a rapid intensification phase being a at least a possibility. Not likely, not expected, but a possibility. I think I missed. Oh no, I watched the NHC do that update. So yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great day so far. If you guys are out in this the path of this tropical storm, soon to be hurricane, just make sure you have your preparations completed. Especially if you're in those warnings, you need to be done preparing now. Really, anyone who's under these in Florida, all the way from Tallahassee. If you're anywhere in this area, just make sure you have your preparations complete immediately. If you're in like Key West, I think that is Key West. If you're preparing now, you're pretty much too late because this tropical storm is already right here. So you're already getting those very close to, if not tropical storm force wind speeds out there in Key West, Florida. But everyone else, you need to have those preparations complete ASAP, preferably tonight. I mean, it's 7 o'clock here on the East Coast, so I mean, you're already really pushing it in terms of preparation. So hopefully everybody who's going to be impacted by this storm has already finished their preparations. Another thing that I didn't note, the European AI model run actually shows a potentially significant situation in terms of flooding over the triad of North and South Carolina, with a very impressive 6 to 8 inches of rainfall being a possibility in and around the Greensboro area, pointing to the southeast. So there's also a lot of uncertainty on that track as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to start preparations if you are in Wilmington, all the way down here towards, of course, where those watches are in place. But mainly for the people outside those watch areas, it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least have some somewhat of an idea of what you need to do once you're under those watches. There's a lot of uncertainty on where this thing's going to go. It could go anywhere from making landfall near the Outer Banks all the way down to almost Jacksonville, Florida again. I mean, we could literally see this thing stall out for just a bit about northeast of Jacksonville, Florida, and then move right back into Georgia and then back, in towards like Atlanta. We could see it stall out more over to the east and move up like this. We could see it barely stall out until it gets towards Wilmington, like a few models once had yesterday, and then make landfall on the Outer Banks and then move out to sea. There's a lot of scenarios. Notice these arrows. This one's pointing northwest. This one's pointing northeast. This one's pointing east northeast. So, I mean, it could go anywhere. It could go anywhere from this point here. It's going to make landfall somewhere in the Big Bend of Florida. We're locking that in somewhere in between these two pink lines. We're going to see landfall here. But from where I've circled in this pink circle, right over that tropical storm icon, it could make landfall anywhere after that. Yeah, DJ, actually, we might head down near your area. Me and Lucky are planning to chase this. The only thing is we're going to be late to the party for sure. This point here is forecasted to be at 2 p.m. on the 7th. Me and Lucky won't leave until probably around 11 on the 7th, unless we can work something out to where we can get down there sooner. I'd love to be down there on the morning of the 7th. I'd love to leave my house here at 8 a.m., get Lucky at 10, and then drive south and be there by 2 p.m. But I don't think that's really going to be a possibility. But we'll monitor it very, very closely. In terms of a forecast of where this thing's going to make landfall in North and South Carolina, there's just no way to know. It's going to be a big old waiting game. Let's see here. We'll just have to play a waiting game again. Unfortunately, it's always a waiting game. I was hoping we'd know a whole lot more today. We know a good amount more. Like, this thing's probably going to be a hurricane, generally where it will make landfall in Florida. But I'm really hoping that we'll know even more tomorrow in terms of South Carolina, because regardless, we're going to do a test stream for members only tomorrow. I might be able to gift 10 memberships. You know what? I'll just check right now so that way I can tell you guys to stay to the end or not. So if YouTube will let me, I will gladly gift 10 free memberships. Let me see here. Membership gifting. Yes, it will. So I'll give 10 people free memberships so that way 10 more people can tune into the members only live stream tomorrow. What is it, Sunday? Yeah, so probably we'll have that members only live stream probably right around, say, the time frame of 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll try to go for a members only live stream tomorrow afternoon. Is that Pete? Pete, yeah, you made it. Glad to see you in the stream. Were you under a severe? You may, yeah, you may still be under a severe. Actually, I think you're under a severe now. But were you under a severe before? Because we were looking up that way. Welcome, Pete, to the stream. Sam, Kevin. I don't know if I've forgotten anyone here. DJ, Severe Weather Lover. Dog Plays. Everyone else who's tuned in may not be chatting. Glad to have you here as well. Brittany, as long as it doesn't come to Pensacola, I'm good. I don't know where Pensacola is. Oh, yeah. You're fine. You're fine. That message was a while ago, so I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, you're perfectly fine. Jamie. Glad to have you guys all in the stream. Lake Charles radar site. Well, Lord have mercy. I don't know where that thing is. That's Louisiana. I knew exactly where that was. I don't see any rotation off the bat. Yeah, I don't see much out here. There might be some little areas of rotation, but it's hard to tell with all this outflow boundary action happening. There's a lot of outflow boundary action here in and around Lake Charles. Ooh, now Minnesota, that's much more believable. Hey, yo, whoa. Now that's strong rotation, but but it's hail contaminated. It is completely hail contaminated out there. Rotating thunderstorm currently going over Rocky Mount, area that was hit with an EF3 earlier last year. That's in North Carolina. I'm going to get another radar site up in Minnesota, so we can watch those storms here. That is a significant severe thunderstorm warning as well for the potential of a tornado, 1.75-inch hail, and 60-mile-an-hour winds. But yeah, that's probably rotating at least somewhat. Just not as strong as what it looks like because it's hail contaminated. And then, of course, we have these little areas of rotation offshore of Florida. That little rotation in North Carolina as well. What about, oh, hold the phone. I just saw something. There's more storms right near me. Well, those are actually really far, but they're still, they're going to be near me soon. They're dying out, though. They're dying out, though. Just pretend I didn't say a thing. Just pretend I didn't say a thing. They already look horrific. I'm gonna go over to the, to this really fast. Let's see here. Yeah, this thing's very healthy. It's in a really good environment, too. You know what? One thing I haven't checked. There's actually one thing I haven't checked. Because if you remember in my my hurricane update video, I said we wouldn't have to check it again. I do want to look at the sea surface temperatures. I have not looked, so we're going to look at this too. Ooh, whoa. We getting recon? No way. I didn't know that. We're getting recon to Debby. Very soon, too, because they're leaving from Tampa. But let's go look at sea surface temperatures. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to just select, even though I know you guys can see it. I don't want to look at it here. Tropical Atlantic. Well, okay. Well, we got to go more west than that, don't we? Boom. Holy moly. 32. We're between 30 and 32 out here. And then we're also into the 30s more south, too. But, man, not an issue. Not an issue at all. Gracious day. That's as of 12Z this morning. Oh, we're going back into El Nino. Catman, I saw you say that under somebody's post. It's like, we're in La Nina. And then you commented, yeah, for like 24 hours. I saw your comment on Twitter about that. Because you got to stay under that. Is it negative 0.2 or negative 0.4? Because I believe it's this line for La Nina and neutral. And this line for El Nino and neutral. So in here is neutral. This is El Nino. This is La Nina. Hopefully I did that right. But I saw somebody else. Someone else was saying it's 0. It is 0.5. I saw someone say that. So they were right. This is La Nina. Right here. So then is El Nino here? So then this is El Nino, and then this is La Nina, and this is all neutral. This is all neutral in here. Man, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't know that. Because I did not know that. I thought it was 0.2 for most of, the last couple years. The last, like, 3 years or so. Wow. Yep, I didn't know that. I did not know that. But yeah, there's our temperatures on the Gulf of Mexico here. We're going to be keeping an eye on that very closely. Let me see if my my laptop's charging here. Turn off my camera for just a second. See if it turns on. Okay, it does turn on. Well, shoot. Now I don't want you on. Turn back off. Is it gonna turn off? My laptop has a virus, so that's why I was wondering if it'd turn on. I've been charging it all day today. The good thing about that laptop is its battery lifespan unplugged is wild. But I don't gotta worry. I don't have to worry about a battery lifetime for my laptop because I have a car charger that charges laptops. So that's very nice. It can charge, I think, 3 phones and a laptop. So I don't have to worry about that when chasing. I just got to worry about, what laptop I'm going to take. I have 2 options. I would be able to have 3, but I don't want to take the third one because it's a new one. Yeah, I got a virus. I did. Ever since then, I've been very careful on my my newer computer. Let me go back up here. Ocean heat content? Okay, Catman, you're going to have to tell me how to look at that. It's been a while since I've looked at that one, buddy. It has been a while since I've... Ooh, that's a cool infrared satellite imagery. Yeah, I haven't looked at ocean heat content at all. I have completely forgotten how to look at... I have not looked at that once this year. The last time I looked at that was probably in, like, October last year. Okay, I'll go to that site. Sea surface temperature. Would it be in the sea surface temperature section here? Climatology. Shouldn't be in climatology. No, probably not October 11th. All right, and went to the storm here. Oh, there it is. I see sea surface temperatures here. But now what's ocean heat content? Let's see. I see the anomalies. Would it be this? Would this be it? There's a lot of different ones here. Or this one. Nope, nope, nope. That's definitely not this one. Well, that can't be it. Okay, so it is this one. Okay, I was right. This is it. This is your tropical cyclone heat potential, which is your my word, I can't even remember it. I just said it. Ocean heat content. I mean, it's really good here. So this is your general track is like this. This is a general track based off of my terrible memory, and it's really good here. It is really, really, really good. All in this area, including where it is now, of course. It gets worse on the coastline, like with absolutely every single portion of land. But we could very easily see rapid intensification in this orange here. Now, this is definitely the best spot for rapid intensification. However, it doesn't last long at all. I wonder if we could see some decent intensification overnight just solely because we have solid ocean heat content here. That's something to think of than your sea surface temperatures. I mean, we don't even, like I said in my video, we don't even have to look at these, but if we have to, it's favorable. That's about it. It's favorable. So not an issue. Yeah, that's true. It is extremely slow. It is very, very slow. I don't know how slow it's going. Let me go look at this really quick. Okay, they're not going to say it here, are they? They just say the movement is northwest. Let me go to the NHC. It is moving at 15 miles per hour to the northwest. That's not too bad. Look at satellite. Man, you making me look everywhere, aren't you? No wonder why I keep all the tabs open. Catman runs me around over here. There you go. I kept it open like a smarty. On accident. Yeah, because I got two of them open. I'll close this out. Put this over here. Oh, is that the... That's... Okay, no, that's the 30 loop. It's moving. It's just, yeah. It's very slow. If this is 15 miles per hour, what's a stall gonna look like on satellite? Because this already looks like a stall here. It already looks very, very slow. It's expected to get down to like 5 miles per hour. If not, maybe even lower. So that's, I mean, that is something for sure. So I don't know if I'm gonna switch to that. I was thinking about switching to shorts here in 30 minutes. I've got to try it eventually. We'll just stay here. The new advisory comes out in around that time. If they're early, we can end timely in 32 minutes. If not, we'll just go slightly longer. So, just like I've said before, bunch of convecutive bands around the entirety of this system. A lot of convecutive bands here. Make sure y'all can't see that other screen, just so that way I don't get copyrighted from looking at this model run. Oh, wow. Wow. They're forecasting up to 20 inches of rainfall now. I didn't even see the 5 o'clock one. Yeah, they're forecasting up to 20 inches of rainfall now, just to the south of Savannah, Georgia. I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far. Um, Maybe I'll go into Georgia just to say I've been in Georgia, because if y'all didn't know, I've only been in 3 states my whole life: Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. I've hit Myrtle Beach. I've been in a couple places in North Carolina, and then I've been in a couple places in Virginia. But this is like my whole life has been spent in this area here. Right here. This is where I have been in my whole life. This small area right here. So even if I go to Charleston, that's still going to be somewhere I've never been in my whole life. I haven't gone to West Virginia. I don't know why I included that. I've not gone that far. I've gone up here and then back out south towards Myrtle Beach. So right in here. I have not been to West Virginia. So for a storm chaser, I sure haven't been that far. I've chased. The only reason why I've gone this far east is because I've actually chased all the way south of Boston into Roxborough. I've chased Roxborough. If I didn't chase that day, I would have never went past Danville in my whole life. Is it 50? Where are you located, Frosty? Are you Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina? Got to be on the coastline if you're talking about tropical storm force wind speeds. Okay, there we go. So, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. 7-foot storm surge, moderate risk for flooding, which is a 3 out of 4. Hurricane warnings, yeah. Just make sure I didn't miss anything else from the 5 o'clock advisory, because apparently I missed the flooding update there. St. Petersburg, Florida, yeah. You should be okay. You know, you're gonna get some gusty winds, definitely, and maybe some storm surge up to 4 feet, especially if you're on the coastal areas. But I mean, this thing's gonna really curve right around you. In the morning, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at the 8 a.m. or maybe 11 a.m. advisory. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all if at 8 a.m. we have a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Because, I mean, every 24 hours, it just go up by 10. So you're looking at 40, then 50, then 60, 70, and then 75 at landfall. So, yeah, really the forecast is to be at, between 8 and 11 a.m., 50 miles per hour tomorrow. Texas, Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana, Ohio, Georgia, North, South Carolina. Jeez. That's a lot of states you've been in, Legacy. It's very rare for me to go into South Carolina. I've gone into North Carolina and Virginia many times. I live in Virginia, but I'm so close to the North Carolina border that, whenever I go somewhere, I end up going into North Carolina and then right back to Virginia. Like, the border's probably like 15 minutes away from me between Virginia and North Carolina. So, yeah, we're waiting for the new National Hurricane Center update. I guess we're going to stay live for that, y'all. Give you new information on that. I'm thinking about doing a shorts live stream, but I don't know. Ooh, Tor Possible. Where's that? What? I swear I just saw Tor Possible. Oh, Maryland? Oh my word, that is the... Are you kidding me? That is a tiny Tor Possible. Look at that thing. Yeah, I would not have clicked on that one. I didn't think that was a separate severe. Got a tiny Tor Possible for Hurlock, Maryland out here. That is a tiny Tor Possible severe. How's this one in Minnesota doing? Still at 1.75-inch hail. So let me go and pull up again that satellite imagery. I just always like to look at the satellite imagery a lot. It's also really good to look at when you're not really talking about much else. So that's your look at tropical storm Debby. No, it's actually Debby. I was thinking it might have been spelled with an IE before, but it's with a Y. So it's Debby. Tropical Storm Debby. It's a normal name. It's a normal name. I should call it Debby just because we're used to not normal tropical names here. Man. It won't do an Otis. I can guarantee that. Well, I mean, I can't guarantee it technically, but it's near impossible for it to do a complete Otis. But if you mean Otis by like going from from going from like Tropical Storm to Cat 3, I wouldn't fully rule it out. I wouldn't be fully surprised if we see a Category 3 landfall. Getting lit up over here. Nope, don't click that. Let's see what it is. It's my parents. Oh, they're wanting to know if the storms are over. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, it's Jover. Look at radar. What radar? Down here. What am I looking for? There is a lot more convection around that core, yeah. Has this thing moved at all? That is my question. Let's do a 250 frame loop here. The answer is yes, but by how much? And see, look how fast it was moving before. It almost looks like it came from the east, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it came from, like, the Bahamas? But nope, it came from down here. Then moved up north. And then it's now right there. It's definitely still moving, but man, is it slowed down. That's a really good band moving on land here. Does this have any areas of rotation? Can I click the radar site? Thank you. Thank you. It does not. It has some on the very far tail end. See a few small areas of rotation here. But nothing, nothing like, we're going to see tornadoes tonight. We'll still have a tornado potential, but there's no imminent tornado threat at this moment. Let me go ahead and click onto this really quick. There we go. Alrighty. The 9 miles per hour at the next NHC update. That's just too hard to predict. And that's just way too difficult to predict. You know what I didn't look at because it's a cam model? I didn't look at the HRRR. Let's see. Let's just see what the HRRR has. Just for fun. Let's not show what the HRRR has. Just because. Let's just not show what the HRRR has. I mean, it's pretty realistic, but it's a big freaking eye. That is a ginormous eye. It's a lot more, a whole heck of a lot more realistic on the tornado threat, too. What about the NAM? I'm just curious. The worst model run in history, pretty much. Yeah. Eh. The NAM ain't really namming. The NAM's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. Now, obviously, it's a cam model, so you never want to go off of it, but it's actually not too bad. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. And let me look at the NAM 3K. They're not nearly as bad as I thought they were. I thought I would be seeing a category 7 or something. They're not even bad. They're not even that bad, honestly. Just got a severe watch for the potential of up to 3-inch hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Tornado threat is not mentioned. It is very low for the tornado threat, but some very large hail and some significant damaging winds will be possible up here in Minnesota. Yeah, honestly, the NAM 3K portrays a pretty realistic scenario. One thing it doesn't show is it doesn't show it going back out into the Wawa. It doesn't go back out into here, into the Atlantic here. It goes into Gulf, of course, where it is now, makes landfall, and then it dies out over Georgia. Now, the HRRR isn't going to go out far enough to where we can see what happens there. It slows down a lot over land. It's going to slow down a lot over land. It's already slowing down a lot now. This thing's just going to be a slow mover. It's going to be a pain in the tail. That's what it's going to be. It is not going to be fun. Let's see here. Yeah, it is going to be pain in the tail. I believe we were, at one point, we were anticipating landfall to be possibly tomorrow night. Now we're moving on to, like, I wouldn't be shocked if landfall's going to be Monday afternoon at this point. I would not be shocked at all. Let me just look when the... I want to compare when the NAM and the HRRR have landfall. I'm not going to show y'all it because it's just their cam models. There's no point. 5 a.m. Monday morning for the NAM. And the HRRR has... like 5, just between 5, 6 a.m. on Monday morning. I'm going to be completely real with you. I'm not going to cover landfall. Again. I know we missed landfall for the first hurricane that made landfall in the U.S., which was Beryl. We're probably going to miss Debby. Unless it's more intense, I'll wake up for it. But if I'm planning to go down to South Carolina, I'm probably going to be more worried about getting to South Carolina than waking up at 3 a.m. to cover landfall. I'm not the person to go to when a tropical system's making landfall at between 2 and 6 a.m. Now, if it makes landfall at 1 a.m. Sunday night, I'd stay up for it. If it makes landfall at, like... I'm not a morning person, so... I mean, shoot. You'd have trouble seeing me cover a Category 1 at 8 a.m. in the morning, honestly. I'm not a morning person. At all. I'm going to have to be a morning person, though. If we go to South Carolina, we're going to be pulling, like, back-to-back all-nighters. That's not going to be fun. That is not going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's not going to be fun. Like I said, in order for us to chase this, y'all, it's going to have to be perfect timing. We're going to have to be very lucky with the timing. So hopefully Lucky's name gives us some luck here. Probably won't. Knowing his luck, it's got to be like reverse logic here. Yeah, we could see tropical storm force winds approach South Carolina as early as about 10 p.m. on Monday. Me and Lucky don't get to South Carolina until probably right about. At this point, what we're planning to do is get there at about 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. Have my MRI on Tuesday. Well, I will probably be picking up Lucky when you're going for your MRI in that case. It could, the track could change a lot. In a matter of 12 hours, we went from a Tampa landfall to a Cedar Key landfall. 12 more hours after that, we're almost to a south of Tallahassee landfall. So we could keep trending more west. Although I find it pretty much, I think we're pretty much locking in our landfall location here for Florida. Now, in terms of the Carolinas, no one has a clue. No one has a clue. I give the best chance for landfall to be right around Beaufort, South Carolina, is what I'm saying, for the best chance of landfall in the Carolinas. But it could be closer to where I am. The best place for it to be in terms of like where I could be the quickest is Myrtle Beach. Because just the location of where I am, it is way quicker for me to just shoot down to Myrtle Beach than it is for me to go like towards Jacksonville or Wilmington. Between like Southport and Charleston, the most that's the best area for me to go between Charleston and Jacksonville. Most preferably Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, right here. That's why I was originally planning to go to Southport, and then in the morning, this morning, I was talking about Myrtle Beach to my family, and then now I'm shifting to Charleston, and then here I am talking to Lucky like, yeah, Buford. It's like, how did I go from Jacksonville to Buford? That's a bit longer of a drive. Probably not more, but an hour. Because, if I start where I am, Jacksonville, start where I am, Beaufort, it's going to be just a little bit longer, probably about an hour longer, which in my book isn't that bad. It ain't that bad. I don't think we'll see much change at the 8 o'clock advisory. It should be within the next 23 minutes. We're going to stay live for it. If you guys can, make sure you hit that like button and share the stream. We've almost reached 1,000 people with the word of this tropical system. And we'll see if we can manage to get to that 1,000 mark. I think we can. I think we could get to it pretty quickly. This is expected to become a hurricane. It should become a hurricane. I can't say it will because I don't know the future, but it is 100% forecasted to become a hurricane. It's just a matter of if it actually does. Oh, they observed it now? Let me look. It is indeed observed. Not surprised. I was going to mention that before when we were looking at the tour possible severe that we had a pocket of near 70-mile-an-hour winds here near Hurlock, but I didn't. Now that's moving up more to the northeast, and we still have those few pockets of 70-mile-an-hour winds. They're going right towards Milford and near Roadkill Beach. Legacy, we're either going to go for another 11 minutes or another. Jeez, I can't do math. Another like 20 some minutes. 11 minutes or. Let's see, 20 minutes from that. Like 31 ish minutes. I don't know. Like I said, I can't do math. Let's see here. Yeah, 20 minutes. Well, don't hurry back. I mean, if you miss the end of stream, it's not a big deal. But yeah, we'll see if I go live on Shorts again, or go live on Shorts tonight. I don't know if I will. If I do, it's gonna be a little later. It's gonna probably be. Let me look at the. I'll give you the most likely time frame for me to go live on YouTube Shorts. All right, the most likely time frame for me to be live tonight on YouTube Shorts would be. Let's see. What's today? Saturday. It'd be probably 10:30. 10:30. I do want to try out YouTube Shorts, but I just don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. Like I said, these horizontal streams, they're going to stay forever. We're never going to get rid of them. I just want to try YouTube Shorts to see if we can reach more audiences, to the point where, we could do like two streams for briefings or something. Because that's the whole point in this channel, is to reach as many people as possible. And we reach a lot of people in these, our normal streams, of course. Let's see. What area are you talking about? North of Fort Drum, Florida. Ooh. That is indeed a very small area of rotation right there. I also saw one further south in Florida as well. This little area here. Not rotating much, but it might try to get its act together here eventually. So those are going to be your tiny little couplets to watch. We're going to have a lot of little couplets like that try to spin up over the next 72 hours. I don't know if there's going to be much of a tornado threat by the time this thing gets to the Carolinas. Let's see here. Guidance continues to suggest that a tropical storm may make landfall in the Carolinas on Wednesday or Thursday, before trending to migrate into the northeastward portion of the U.S. While it is possible that this may be accompanied by at least some continuing tornado potential, the risks seem to remain generally low. Severe probabilities are being maintained at less than 15% through this period. All right, see you later, Legacy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We haven't gotten the new NHC update yet, so I will most likely stay live for a while longer. Unless I missed the update. Yeah, no, they haven't came out with that update. It will be out in the next 17 minutes, so we're going to stay live longer. We will be live for another 22 more minutes here. Yeah, I don't see much with that area that I was just talking about. It fell apart fast. What about that other region more north? It's still there for sure. We're gonna wait another scan on this one, see if it's still there on the next scan. Let's see here. Okay, that did break apart a bit, but that's still, we still have a area of rotation there. That's going to be right along the... Well, this doesn't have a name. This is the I something corridor, just east of Highway 441 and in between Road 60 here. Just to the southeast of Yeehaw Junction. That has got to be the most, like, probably Texas name mixed with Florida I have ever seen. Yeehaw Junction. That definitely belongs in Texas. What the heck? Is that a name in Texas? Yeehaw, Texas. Nope. Yeehaw Junction, Texas. Nope. There is Yeehaw Junction, Florida. That is something, I gotta tell you. They did issue a special weather statement for the potential of brief funnel clouds. So that is interesting. You are under a special weather statement for the potential of funnel clouds out here because of these few little areas of potential rotation in Yeehaw Junction, Florida. That is such a Texas name, my word. Oh, look, it's about to rain. It is about to rain. It is raining. It is already raining. Never mind. Well, sorry. Hopefully my parents weren't doing anything outside. I was wrong. More storms developed and decided to give us rain here. Let's see. Upwards of 80. What makes you say that? The velocities are... Now that's just contamination. We don't have another Omaha situation on our hands here. That's just contaminated pixels. You know why? Because pixel here, 62. Next pixel, 118. That's literally more, not more than, but almost double. Almost double with the pixel to pixel here. So that's not true. It is contamination. And it's gone. Ta-da! Told you. Already gone. Let me go check our thing really fast. So if y'all are just tuning in, we're currently waiting on the National Hurricane Center to update their information on the Category 1 hurricane that is expected to hit Florida on Monday morning. So that's what we're doing here. We're waiting. We're waiting. And until they issue that advisory, we're going to just stay live, which they should have it out very soon. Typically, they issue it about 7:50. Normally, they are much closer to 7:50 than 8 o'clock Eastern. I wonder if I've missed it. There's actually a chance I've missed it. Okay, I missed it. I missed it. That's what I did. So I could have ended. That is what I did. I missed the advisory. Well, would you look at that? It happens. I missed the intermediate advisory. That is wild. It came out 20 minutes ago. Yikes. I'm slacking. It looks like they changed nothing with this advisory. It is an intermediate advisory, so I don't think they changed anything. They haven't updated the cone yet. The discussion, this is the 5 o'clock discussion, so they didn't update that. The public advisory, that's 5 p.m. So yeah, the bigger, more major update will be at 11. The big updates are at 2 and 11, both AM and PM. Because of how well organized it currently is right now, I really believe this could hit higher than Category 1 intensity. Models, in my opinion, are handling this very poorly. There's nothing stopping this from rapidly intensifying. Debatably, the amount of ocean heat content towards like right here on like near the coastline area, but there's really not much stopping this from rapidly intensifying into something stronger than a Cat 1. So they're more conservative with a Category 1. The reason why they don't have like Cat 2 happen in here is because, like you just said, not many model runs are showing much more than a Category 1 hurricane or even a tropical storm. So they're playing the much safer bet here, which is just calling for a low-end Category 1 hurricane. I don't want to say too much about what Cat I think. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with Category 2. The overall structure is just extremely impressive at the moment. It is extremely, extremely impressive for, the limited time it has had over the Gulf. So, I feel like it's going to have this impressive look all the way until it eventually can act on that look and begin to form into a hurricane west of Tampa. So I think like a mid-tier, maybe pushing towards Cat 2 will be possible. Mid-tier to high-end Cat 1 to Cat 2. I think that's the higher end. I think the high-end forecast here is a Category 2. Barely a Category 2. I think that is the high end. What I think is the most likely is a high-end tropical storm to a low-end Category 1. That is the most likely at this point, but for instance, with like Otis is one of the most notable ones, which is why I want to point that out. It could be like Otis, where model runs aren't showing much of an intensification phase, and then boom, out of nowhere, we end up seeing that intensification phase literally just out of nowhere. And it's like, oh shoot, now we're forecasting Cat 3. Oh, we got a destructive severe. We've got 2 of them. Yep, for 3-inch hail. I knew that was going to be a very real possibility. 3-inch hail, so we've got a life-threatening situation out here for some big-time hail ongoing in central Minnesota. This is extremely far northwest of the Twin Cities. This is for Bertha, just east of Eagle Bend in Minnesota. That is a life-threatening situation for a whopping 3-inch hail. That is for a little over 3,700 people there. I mean, just think about what we were looking at not but about like just 12 hours ago. Just 12 hours ago, we were forecasting a tropical storm to form just to the west of Cape Coral, right about here. We have a tropical storm now. So, who's to say that can't happen with the hurricane, you know? We're forecasting it to be a Category 1 hurricane just before landfall. It could be a Cat 1 hurricane here, and then it has it has a little bit more of the Gulf of Mexico left, so it could get towards mid-tier Cat 1. There's a lot of possibilities with this. Oh, I thought that was an ongoing area of circulation. Man, don't you just love when people post like old tornado pictures and it freaks you out and you think it's like ongoing? I see that all the time on Twitter. That's just what goes in my head right away. Like, I don't think, oh, they're just, showing pictures they saw of last year's tornado. I immediately think, is that happening now? It always gives me a heart attack. So, yeah, that is going to be about it for the stream, y'all. We're going to conclude here. We still have a while left because stupid me didn't refresh the NHC. I was looking at Twitter and it never notified me on Twitter, so it went right back. Went right back to just other notifications and went away. Is that a... There's some velocities there. That's very close to me. It's not really close, but it's pretty close. So I missed the NHC advisory thanks to Twitter. But yeah, we're gonna just wait here for 10 minutes until we can wrap up the stream. We did reach over 1,000 people with the word of this tropical storm, soon to be hurricane. So I really, really appreciate those who have tuned in. There's a lot of uncertainty with this. There is a lot of uncertainty. There's always uncertainty. I feel like with every single tropical storm or depression that forms, the new thing is this is one of the most uncertain situations. It's like that just always seems to be the thing here. There always seems to be an absurd amount of uncertainty. But there's all your overlays from the 5 p.m. advisory. Our 8 p.m. advisory didn't update the location, at least just yet. So that's your ongoing tropical storm force wind speeds in that kind of light bluish. I don't even know what color that is. That goes from Key West, Florida, back down towards Cuba. Then, of course, your track here is that the line with those tropical storm symbols, and then your cone of uncertainty is in red. And then, like I said, we are looking at a Category 1 hurricane out here, just to the southeast of Tallahassee, making landfall Monday morning. Probably very early Monday morning. Tropical storms just form from a mixture of very favorable environments, typically from June all the way through November. The most likely time is August, September into early October for tropical storms. It doesn't take a whole lot for tropical storms to form, but they are babies when it comes to conditions. So if you have, if you don't have like pretty much 10 or less knots of wind shear, no dry air, and really, really hot sea surface temperatures, it's not going to do a thing. So they have to have absolute perfect conditions to form into tropical storms and hurricanes. But most of the time, it's from a tropical wave, monsoon wave, whatever it may be, that moves off of Africa, moves into the main development region, begins to develop as it gets towards favorable environments close to the Caribbean Sea. And then, like Beryl did, continues to push towards like Texas, Louisiana, or whatnot. But yeah, it's very common to see storms go from, our main development region into the Gulf. We also see cases where they form off of South America as well. That's very common. The Yucatan Peninsula, we've seen a couple times. This, actually, we've already seen like 2 or 3 times from the Yucatan Peninsula. So there's a couple areas. But the main area is obviously the main development region with with Africa. And then, of course, South America. And then every now and then the Yucatan Peninsula. I didn't say Beryl wasn't something else. I mean, we typically see tropical waves that try to form into storms from June all the way through November. Did you did you look when hurricane season starts there, Catman? June 1st. So the most likely time is from August 1st, which we've already passed, all the way through early October. Let's see. Pete's been here, Caleb. Pete has been here. And thank you, Pete. I think Caleb's late. That's what it is. He's trying to distract us from the fact that he's the one who's late. New little area of rotation there. This is going to be near the Escape Ranch. That's conservative. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Just some little areas of rotation. We got a severe warning for torr possible now for what is this, southwestern Miami. I don't know exactly what warranted that. I don't really see much solid amounts of rotation, but apparently there's some decent amount of rotation with this. as well as the potential for 60-mile-an-hour winds. I do see the 60-mile-an-hour wind potential. You can see a few of these higher velocities here that could be producing 60-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, you're a little late, but better late than never. I appreciate you at least tuning in and saying hi. We're ending here very, very, very soon, about 5 minutes. So you are a little late, but hey, better late than never. So I appreciate you, like I said, just tuning in. We did get that new NHC advisory, like I said. They did note something else. What did they say here? Oh yes, the recon is going into our tropical system right now. I really don't think there's going to be much they find. I don't expect we'll have anything new, really. Like I said, I'll think about doing a live stream at 10:30 p.m. tonight on YouTube Shorts. You guys will still be able to watch from YouTube. It just simply be vertical. So I'll think about doing that. If I do, it will be at 10:30, just before the 11 o'clock advisory. So we'll see if I do that. And that would, of course, be Eastern time, 10:30 p.m. But that's a 50-50. It's 50-50 on if I go live. I will be live for members only. I'll be gifting 10 free memberships at the end, so make sure you stay until the very end, the very, very end, when the music even finishes, in order to receive a free membership. Now, it's not guaranteed. You know, we have about 40 people in here now. That will probably go down to about 30 at the end, so you know, you have about a 1 in 3 chance of receiving a free membership at the end of the live stream. And we'll be doing a members only live stream test for the tropical system. Which, long story short, I'm basically just gonna go drive and figure out if I can go live. That's really about it. Not much more to it than that. Let's see here. March 31st outbreak. Yikes. I've honestly, the March 31st outbreak is not that memorable for me. I just don't remember it much. I really don't. Now, the one thing I remember from it is just the fact that we had so many tornado emergencies. I remember that. But I don't remember like anything like ridiculous. I remember now. I remember seeing twin strong tornadoes. That was crazy on March 31st. That was probably the most notable thing. But I can't like recall the whole day. Like, for instance, I can remember everything of April 26th, and as well as the Rolling Fork tornado, as well as what is it, Matador, Texas tornado. I can remember that too. So March 31st just wasn't that memorable for me tracking it. I don't know why. And I spent 9 hours tracking it, so it's not like I just wasn't here. South Carolina Burton gonna get. You know, someone depending on the timing of this, me and Lucky might be in your area. We're supposed to be ending stream right now. I completely missed it. We're gonna go a little longer. But me and Lucky may be in your area here. On what day is it? Wednesday. But anyways, back to your question. How much rainfall you could get? Up to 20 inches of rainfall. You could see up to 20 inches of rain over the next about a week. Over the next about week from this system. So that's you know, it's gonna rain. Some rain. You got some rain chances there. Only about 20 inches of rainfall. You are in a, I believe you're in 3 moderates. Let me see how many moderates you're in. Why is it taking this one? Why did that take me so long? Free water park. That's one good way to look at it. You're in a slight risk, level 2 out of 4 for flooding tomorrow. Moderate on day 3, 3 out of 4. Moderate on day 4, and moderate on. You are in 3 moderates. Moderate on day 3, moderate day 4, moderate day 5. So that is a moderate on August 5th. Yeah, August 5th, August 6th, and August 7th. You are in a moderate for rainfall. Me and Lucky will be there near your area probably on this about the 7th. It's gonna come in right when the 7th is busy. Me and Lucky both have busy things on the 7th, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to clear those things out or not. We'll see. Oh my goodness. I drive a Toyota RAV4. I think that's what it's called. Pretty sure. I think it's somewhere around like a 2008 model. So pretty old car. It gets the job done, and it's pretty good. I like it. I love it. It's a great car in my opinion. Lot of rain, Brandon. A lot of rain. I don't think you'll see much in terms of the tropical storm force wind speeds. You might be under a tropical storm warnings or watch once this system heads your way. But main issue is by far going to be rain for you. Let's see. Yeah. You're not nearly as big of a threat as someone is, but you're still in that, gotta keep an eye on it. Gotta keep an eye on it. You're expecting about 7 to 10 inches of rainfall, so... Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's live stream. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. We went a little over our live stream time, but hey, that's perfectly fine. 2 hour, 20-minute quote briefing. Just wanted to do a little bit of a longer briefing today since I know I'm probably not going to have too much time to do it, coverage on this, but I will be live for members only tomorrow right around 3 p.m. Eastern. And in terms of what I'll be doing tomorrow for the live stream on this channel for everybody, Sunday, yeah, I'll probably end up live streaming Sunday night. I will most likely end up streaming tomorrow night, but probably not the Landfall. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropics, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropics. I'll see you guys tomorrow.